conspiracy theories. So we're going to be talking about pyramids with the Stargate. And we're joined by Bizarre Investigations. They have their own podcast. Make sure you guys all check it out and everything like that. So, Brandon, now that you saw the link that I sent you, what do you think about that whole pyramids are actually Stargates?
And it's possible. I mean, reading through this stuff right now, it's, it could be more than what we're actually being known about, pretty much.
Right, because mostly just because, what if you could teleport between there's pyramids in Egypt, there's pyramids in Europe, there's pyramids in Mexico. What if it was some sort of teleportation where they could go in there and jump between them, all different locations and stuff?
Well, that'd be kind of cool.
It's possible,
It is.
And then you look at it they found history, signs of there's pyramids on Mars type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
What if you could that's how we came here, What do you think about that, Josh?
I think it's completely possible. What we found is it could totally be a power station. So the pyramids powering up the Stargate, it's totally possible.
Yeah, I've seen videos and stuff like that where they said that it was some sort of its own nuclear power site where it could just power up everything like that. Where
scientists actually found a whole room full of copper in there, which is actually known to conduct electricity. And at the time, way back then, the top of the pyramid was completely gold, which also conducts electricity, or not conducts, but helps produce electricity. Is very I don't know the correct word.
Yeah, they could have been a power station.
But yeah, that's my biggest thing. I totally can see it as a power station to help supply whatever needs to be out there.
Right. I definitely see that type of thing. I think there's more to it. I just think it's interesting that they have so many pyramids all over the world compared to just in one central location. And why do they have the exact same thing? All of them have the hieroglyphics inside of it. Mm-hmm. Different type of setup and everything like that. Based on your environment. Now, if you look at the one in Gaza, it's made out of a different type of material that's found a couple hundred miles away. Well, how did that get there?
That is true.
So what scientists think is, well, what the scientists want you to believe and not the conspiracy field is the Nile River used to actually roll all the way up to the Great Pyramid of Giza, and they had boats, and apparently they would shove large, 1-ton stones onto this fucking boat and go down the Nile River, back in the ancient times when we had great technology and everything, and you could support a ton of weight, literally.
So the rivers would do all the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah.
Right on.
Right. Yep.
That's what they're trying to make us believe, but that's totally not fucking feasible. Plus, to even build it, they would have to lay 3 bricks every 5 minutes.
It was 3 bricks every 3 minutes, wasn't it, or 5 minutes, somewhere around.
Yeah.
Either way, it was not a feasible task.
Yeah, they would have to completely lay the bricks, mortar it, and do everything in 3 to 5 minutes, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not possible.
No.
Yeah, I heard stuff like that, but the real also, I sent that link with the whole Nile going up to Giza, guys, or whatever it's called, with the whole Noah's Ark being the Giza pyramid and stuff like that.
Well, they didn't have the materials like we did back in the day either.
No, they didn't, not at all. You have to think about the manpower it would have to lift all that stuff up.
So how did they get to the top? There's no crane system.
They actually built ramps, and then they supposedly built the pyramids around the ramp. So it was a ramp that would twist around and around and around and around and go all the way up to the top.
But mathematically, the ramp would have to be how many miles long?
I forget.
Exactly.
I think it's 15 miles to put it to the very top of it. How steep it has to be. So there's no way the pyramid has 15 miles of fucking ramp, because you need leverage and shit.
There are ramps inside of the pyramids.
There is.
Yes.
And there are little hallways that are ramps, and they go all the way up to the top. And that's why people believe that's how they were built. That these things, the pyramids were built around these ramps. But
Now-
it really doesn't make sense when you start looking at it.
Yeah, now we don't believe this shit.
No,
this is where we're saying like,
found.
hypothetically, this is what the scientists believe.
And
Right.
so if you're building up these ramps, then they're too narrow to fit these big boulders, and I mean they're just too narrow to fit the amount of people it would take to move these boulders and the actual boulders into place. It just doesn't add up.
No, not at all. Now, what do you think that there's some sort of like a power station inside of the pyramids that would, like a Stargate that would bounce you between the different areas, like, between that one in Giza,
Like
the
a
one in Mexico?
transportation?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know the technology that they were given back in the day, but I guess anything's possible. I really don't know that transportation.
There is a pyramid on Mars, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So how do you know that we didn't come from Mars, and that's how we actually got here? And actually all the gods and stuff like that you see in the hieroglyphs are actually not aliens.
That's more believable for me. Is the ancient astronaut theory is we destroyed Mars and we came back to Earth. Or it's kind of, there's two ways to look at the ancient astronaut theory. Is we left Earth because we're destroying it, and we went to Mars, and then we came back. So, but yeah, I totally believe that the gods that we see in like Greek mythology and everything was just us.
Yeah.
Coming down.
That's what I've been telling you. I think the aliens are us, but way more advanced and from the future.
Yeah, I've read about that theory that what we're actually seeing as grays is what the human body would actually look like, spent in so many years or so many decades, freaking in a different type of environment. Like we just evolved too.
Yep. Well, natural evolution. I mean, things are gonna change, and their body's gonna advance regardless. So,
Right.
Well, evolution takes thousands of years.
yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about thousands of years into the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my theory, and the more I look into the aliens, the more I believe that theory. So,
Yeah, it can definitely be possible, but because they are like the humanoid ones that look just like us, except for the head, and the color of their skin.
yep.
Big eyeballs.
And lights come out of their fingertips.
ET.
Right. Yeah, I definitely want to be like ET. I mean, I don't know. Like, I definitely could see that possibility too. Like, freaking, we're just being like advanced beyond our years. I think we did come from Mars. I think we fucked up that planet like we're doing to this one, and then freaking wound up going to a different planet. Moving on.
Yeah, I can see that.
And just because, like, they found faces on Mars, they found pyramids on Mars, they're finding all this different stuff that, they're not really wanting us to know about. And every time that, like, on that NASA, for the rovers website and stuff like that, every time they find something, they end up taking it down and, like, covering it up and being hush-hush about it, or saying it's a shadow play or something like that,
Yeah, I seen something about like they found a sphinx on it.
Yeah, and they found signs of like a cross, what looks like a cross and everything like that on there, and different type of materials, like a gravesite type of thing, and it's pretty interesting.
We also found Decepticons up there.
Right? I knew where Bumblebee went. That's how he died. Spoiler alert. But I think, like, what I personally believe, that I think, like, like the show Stargate and stuff like that, is somewhat relatively believable, just because, that we could teleport or something like that. And we're working on that technology right now, is like, can move back and forth without, in a matter of seconds. How else would we get to certain places at a certain time, so fast?
Yeah, that explains a lot if we had the capabilities of that. I mean, to get around and why you see the same things in different places, especially when supposedly that technology didn't exist. So the teleportation makes sense in that aspect.
It is.
And I just think you're looking at, why is the exact same structure and stuff like that in 3 different parts of the world that we know of, and that's the only ones I know of. I mean, do you think, that Or do you think those came there when the whole Earth was all connected, like all the land masses connected, and how close was Mexico and Egypt at that point, where you could actually tell?
Pangea?
Yeah. No, I haven't, Carrie. I'm busy. I'm busy a lot.
Yes, we are.
Now, with the theory that UFOs and aliens are us, where do you think they come from? Do you think they live in like a, is it Kepler B52, the one that's place that's like larger than Earth, but it has like the same characteristics as ours? Do you think that's where they're coming from? Or go ahead.
I think our technology just gets so advanced eventually in the future that we can adapt to other places and we can travel further and find different places that are that can support our life.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I think it's weird that, about 20 years ago, 10, 20 years ago, Bob Lazar came out and talking about this element 115, and here it is, flash forward to 2020, and we're starting to create element 115. With that thing, if they could actually hold the atoms together without a combustion, replacing as a fuel cell type of thing. I mean, I think that's pretty wild. If they can actually control it, make it stable enough where it actually support that.
Yeah, but I think the element that we discovered is not exactly what Bob Lazar came out and told us about. Like, it's a little different, because he was describing like a fuel that these aliens could use. Right. But the one that we discovered, I don't think it was exactly like he was describing it.
Right.
But I'm not too sure. I didn't really look into it, the element 115.
I think it was a little bit different, but I think like they're just trying to control it right now, where without it, because they can control it for like a second and then it blows up pretty much.
So, yeah, I heard that.
And if we can actually come up with a way to control, which we'll probably do in the next like 5-10 years, what are the possibilities from there? And
we're just going to keep advancing.
Yeah, I mean, I think 90% of our technology came from UFOs and aliens and stuff like that, just because you look at, after all the major, like in 1918, 1917, during World War I, they came up with all this technology right after Alien. They supposedly saw aliens and it was covered up in the desert. But, then you look at the Roswell thing and look how many, like, all those advances like the Air Force made after that,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that if it is us from the future, we are coming back and like either slowly giving us the technology that we need, or maybe we have a lot of it and we're just taking our time to develop it. But I think that's how we're going to advance quicker, is because if it is us, then obviously we come back and help ourselves out and continue advancing.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that video of that supposed time traveler that came back and saved himself? That was getting killed, and it was like all caught on like a security camera, or he was about ready to get hit.
Like the flash.
Oh, that was a commercial.
No. It was an actual video. This guy was going to get hit by a bus, and you see like another guy walk right up to him, touch him, and push him a little bit. Then you see the guy disappear, and the bus like goes through.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one where the guy's riding on a bike, and then all of a sudden you see this flash, and he takes him out of the way of getting hit by a truck.
No, I've seen that one too. That's pretty cool. And there's like this kid in California that said he's from 2030. I saw the video on that, where the kid said he's like from 2030, and he's like, he can't go back to the future now, and he's met himself 30 years in advance, and like he said he's got a microchip implanted in him that allows him to time travel. Have you seen anything like that?
I haven't.
But if that was him in the future saving himself from the past, how would that make sense?
I don't know. I have no idea. But like he took a lie detector test. He took a lie detector test and passed everything. I mean, I still think the kids are
so inconsistent.
Yeah, we were talking about that on one of our episodes.
Last episode, I believe.
Yeah, that we could. It's so easy to manipulate a lie detector test, where all you got to do is believe in it. If you believe, like, hey, I didn't kill this person, but you killed him, you will pass the lie detector test.
Yeah, if you're like They said that like
Go on.
pathological liars can pass it really easy because they believe their own lies.
Yep.
I mean,
They're also not used in the court system.
They're not admittable because they're so inconsistent and not reliable.
Yeah.
yeah. But you go on Mari, they always believe them.
Right.
Yeah.
Responded on the chat. But no, I mean, I think that's anything like that is all, like, relatively speaking, like, what if you do, like, 10, 15 years from now, they do give you implants where you don't have ATM cards and
Elon Musk.
They're already doing that.
Yeah, Elon Musk said by the end of this year, he will hopefully have human trials going on for his neural implants.
They're already putting chips in people. Like some companies, they're already putting chips in people for pay purposes. Like, I'll pay you on this chip, and I'll like, this is what how you're gonna get into the building and that kind of stuff. It's already starting.
But Elon is gonna actually put an AI in your fucking face.
Yeah, I saw that where when it's gonna be like the prevention of corona or something like that.
Yeah, well, the way he described it, it's going to help like stroke, seizures, epilepsy, Alzheimer's, dementia. It's just going to fix your brain pretty much.
Imagine that, though, dude. That's insane.
Yeah.
Elon Musk is the guy to do it, though.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. It'll be him.
I haven't listened to it.
If you guys haven't, there's a little. Yeah, watch that show. I was going to give that a shout out. Watch that show. It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
an episode.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I haven't watched that one yet. I saw it just came downloaded. I listen to a lot of podcasts with Rogan. I love him. So
yeah, he's pretty good. He's almost as good as us.
Yeah, almost. Close.
Close second.
Yeah. He's creeping up on you guys. He's got a little bit more clout.
Your money flow.
You guys will get there, man. Freaking. But yeah, we're like, I know we're moving towards that type of technology. Are you guys going to oppose getting implanted with any type of thing?
No. If they ask for volunteers, I'm the first one.
Really?
You would do it.
I would instantaneously. I would fucking volunteer for that shit. You instantly become a genius. You're a computer at that point.
If they paid me for it, I'd probably do it.
No, I'd do it for fucking free.
Well, if it's testing, they'll probably pay you for it.
No, I'll do it for free because I will become a genius and I won't need this petty shit anymore. I'll make money myself.
I make money moves on my own. Thank you.
I will make algorithms to study the stock market and I'll become a fucking billionaire in a matter of time.
I think all that shit's going to go away at that point.
Well, the way I see it on these chips is if it can cure all these diseases like what he's thinking of, it might be able to make you live longer too, or never die at all.
The way he's described it in his podcast, how it's going to happen is your body runs on electrons and neutrons and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. And when you're thinking of something, it's sending a little electricity throughout your brain to spark this certain spot of your brain to tell you to do that thing. So for example, Alzheimer's, it hits a little tiny thing where they can't remember, but it sends a spark trying to remember things. So the chip will then send electricity to that part of the brain to ignite it. Like,
almost like a pacemaker for your brain.
It is a pacemaker. That's the way he described it. It's a pacemaker for your brain. It could also cure blindness.
That's pretty cool. I mean, your body will eventually break down. That's just natural. You're not going to live forever, but I mean, this will extend your life.
He also said that at that point, the second you put a chip in your brain, you live forever. Because at that point, you can take your consciousness and put it in anything. Yeah. He told Joe Rogan that you could talk to your 30-year self.
Damn.
Like if you're 30, if you're like 40, like I want to talk to my younger self, you can put your younger self into a different person and you can have a full conversation with them.
We're just going to have robots walking around now.
Right.
And it's going to be us, but in a robot. You fucking formed it. You look as good as you want to. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm never going to gain any weight ever. And I can get rid of these gray hairs.
Sorry, I love Elon Musk.
What's that? I couldn't hear what he said.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
But no, I think the only thing bad about that is...
What about the Noah Ark? If we want to get back on pyramids.
Yeah. I think we were talking about this yesterday too, but I think the Noah's Ark was actually the pyramid in Gaza or Giza, whatever you want to say it. Like that theories have it
Giza.
Where, Giza. I can't pronounce, man. I'm freaking redneck.
It's all good.
No, freaking. I think there was like DNA slides of all different type of species and stuff like that, all stored in there, and that's how they created all the animals and everything like that. Where you actually fix it into one location. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what theory you heard, but I don't know what planet you heard it came from. But the one I looked into was from Venus, where we created a gas house effect, which killed the planet, and that's why it's a gas planet now. And so to save the planet, we put two eggs, or the eggs, fertilized eggs of each animal on the planet and humans, and sent them to this habitable planet, and the pyramids or whatever actually created they made a hatch and everything.
Now, see, that makes way more sense than you telling me they put two of each animal on a fucking boat.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a lot more probable. I mean, how could you get that many on? I mean, it's not feasible.
Yeah, imagine how big that boat would have to be.
And some of these animals, like, how the fuck are you the one that survived? Honestly, like certain people can't even walk up to them like, how are you the sperm that won?
Look up at a giraffe and like, who are you now?
Right. Now you heard it came from Venus.
Oh yeah, that's the one I heard. That was the theory I looked into.
Right on. That's awesome. That makes sense too, man.
What was yours?
Mine, I think it was from freaking Jupiter. I think it was, but I can't remember. I sent you the link, Brandon. Did you get it when I sent it?
I think it was a while
ago. Mine could have been Jupiter too. I might have forgot.
We looked into it on it.
What's that?
I thought it was Jupiter or Saturn, one of those two close by.
Yeah.
It could have been. I mean, it's been like a week since I looked it up, so I could just be getting one of my planets wrong.
Yeah.
It's one of the planets that is not Earth.
Yeah.
What? Now, how many planets and stuff like that do you think are actually out there outside of our galaxy?
Over a trillion.
Well, in an infinite amount.
Yeah, there is an infinite amount.
Yeah.
Are you talking about in our Milky Way galaxy, or are you talking about the Andromeda galaxy?
No, just the Milky Way galaxy. Let's just take it there.
Oh. I want to say they have some reported number. I don't like giving fake or false information, but I want to say it was close to like almost a trillion.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a high number, but yeah, I think out there, I mean, it's an endless amount.
Yeah.
I can't wait to the day that we actually can travel to these different planets and check out, like some Star Wars type of shit.
Sorry.
Probably won't happen in our time, but I think it'll happen eventually.
It's close to 400 billion.
It's a pretty high number.
Yeah.
Well, it could happen if Elon Musk is
the Andromeda galaxy is told to have trillion.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, if he can do it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if he could. I might volunteer for that, but who knows? I don't know about the whole want to get tracked everywhere you go. I mean, I could see it being beneficial in certain aspects. You wouldn't have no more kidnappings or anything like that. You wouldn't have a problem finding, like, if somebody was murdered or something like that, you wouldn't have any more unsolved. Like, you can't find a body anymore. All you gotta do is just look them up.
Unless you take that chip out.
Yeah, just point. Well, that's true. If everybody has a chip at the same location, I'm fucked. Just cut that shit out.
We're doing our next episode we're going to record is on the Cleveland torso murders, and they dismembered the body. So I guess if you cut it up and dispersed it everywhere, you probably wouldn't be able to find it, assuming the chip's in your head and they just put the head somewhere else.
Well, this just got awkward. They'd find some of you.
we read a lot of true crime stuff, so that's there's a lot of ways to hide a body.
The chip, I don't think would solve the issues of the murders and kidnappings, but you never know.
Right. 1 second. Now, Brandon, what's your thoughts on the whole pyramids and everything like that, man?
I believe they're out there like that. I do think that what we were talking about right now, I agree with everything. It's all endless possibilities.
Right. Now, what do you think makes them all connected?
The Bermuda Triangle.
Never know.
Triangle.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty strange out there, like how And why does it have some of the same hieroglyphics in the one in like Mexico and compared to the one in Egypt? You know, like some of the same type of face structures they have carved in there. You know, with the hologram or the hieroglyphics. What do you have you seen that, man?
I think I have a few bits and pieces of it.
Have you seen anything like that, Josh?
The hieroglyphics being the same. I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of them are similar, but even the structure of the pyramids, like the fact that they're all over the world, that's kind of odd. You know what I mean? Because supposedly at the time they were built, how in the hell did they relay this message? Hey, this is what we're building, and we're doing it to these exact dimensions, and the build on it is crazy, and like the mathematics, the preciseness of it all, it's insane. So to be able to transfer that across the world and everything like that, it's just super odd.
And why are they all on the same latitude line? You know, certain ones are on the same latitude line, and like the ones in Egypt, they all line up with like certain type of star constellations.
True north.
True north. Yeah. They all line up true north.
And if you calculate everything about the pyramids, it's the diameter of the Earth. You can get the diameter of the moon. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
But you can put that to mere coincidence. But you know,
I don't think so. I think it's too. It's too odd to be just a straight coincidence, you know?
Oh, yeah, there's something else behind it.
And do you guys think that Noah was an alien?
I have a hard time believing the whole Noah's Ark thing in general. So.
Oh, really?
Well, it's not logical.
Even though there was proofs of the flood and everything like that? You know?
I believe there is possibility there was a flood, but the fact that one guy got chosen by supposed higher being or God, and then got 2 of every single animal that ever existed and put it in a boat, and then just was able to outlast a flood, that's just not logical to me.
Yeah. Well, that's why if it was a pyramid, it would outlast it. Because if it was like, you know, they have their own type of ecosystem inside, you know? They could survive.
But maybe the flood can explain how the pyramids were built, because if they transported it and just dropped it in the water, if the whole area was flooded.
Oh man, we're going down a rabbit's hole. You gotta stick to one theory and stick to that one. Oh my.
I'm all over the place, brother, man.
Yeah, I am too. Trust me. I jump around a lot.
Yeah, we definitely do.
But it's okay. I forgive myself all the time. Now, I'm just going to put this up on here and give me your thoughts on it.
They hid Atlantis?
Yeah.
Atlantis is something that's pretty crazy, too.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain Atlantis.
I think Atlantis exists.
Well, yeah, I believe Atlantis exists. I believe at one point it was just at a lower level, and then the Earth's water level raised, and it flooded the area. I believe that's where... And we were talking about this on one of our episodes about how mermaids came.
Yeah, I believe in mermaids, so I think that Atlantis has something to do with that as well.
Oh yeah, they talk about mermaids all the time, but I don't think they're like the mermaids that we think of, like, you know, Little Mermaid or females wearing.
No.
But I do think there is some sort of like cross between, you know. I mean, there's too coincident that you're getting all these reports from, like, you know, the Navy people, like, you know, people in the military that've seen them and have experienced them, or these people that have been fishermen their whole life seeing something out in the middle of the ocean, you know? I think the ocean is probably like one of the things that we should explore next on, you know, this planet, if we could actually see what actually is underneath there, because there's so many unexplored locations and get some true answers, like what's actually in there and like how far we can go down and what's actually hidden, you know?
Oh yeah, I think they'll find some crazy shit if they did that.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, they're probably starting to find like little civilizations with UFOs, aliens living in little bubble cities.
A lot of people believe that's where they come from. Like the aliens, a lot of people believe that they come from the water.
That's what they said about those. Did you guys see those TikTok videos?
TikTok or Tic Tacs?
TikTok videos. I'm sorry. I'm like,
okay, yeah.
I was gonna say, I'm not on TikTok.
I don't have TikTok either. I have seen those TikTok videos or Tic Tac. God damn it!
Now you're saying it too. they said that some of those like came out of the oceans and stuff like that, and they've had like numerous videos and photographs of like UFOs coming out of mountains, coming out of the oceans, like jumping down in there and stuff like that. I do think there's more to that than anything else. I mean,
yeah, have you seen the videos that just got released by the government?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's badass.
those ones are around water as well too.
Yes,
So makes sense. I mean, they seem to be around water a lot.
It could be water is a rare material in the universe, and we're one of the planets that have a lot of it.
We have an abundance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It just falls from the sky.
And if you think about almost all alien movies are about them taking our resources, mainly our water.
Yeah, swing away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some sort of truth to it. Like, freaking certain movies, I should say. Hey, what's going on, Naomi?
All right, everyone.
But yeah, I definitely think there's more to it. Now, do you think there would be more pyramids like underneath the ocean and whatnot?
I think it's definitely possible. Yeah.
I
believe there's more pyramids like in other places of the world that isn't underwater, but like got buried over like tectonic plates and shit like that. Just our average life cycle of the Earth just moving along of these pyramids and just hides them from us.
That makes sense too.
Didn't they find one in? Like, I'm not trying to be wrong or anything like that, but didn't they find one in Canada or something like that?
I think they found one in North America, but I don't know where in North America.
Yeah, I just can't remember.
I thought I heard something about Canada too.
But it's been so long since I've heard that. I think they found one, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to Google that really quickly. Brandon, talk.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, but we're going to have to get going. We got to go to work here in like the next 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, you guys get to have fun with that protest, right?
Oh, yeah. We got to
Should be interesting.
Kick some people's asses and shit.
Hell yeah.
Just kidding. Just got to make sure no one goes to our little places.
Now they can find you. I'm gonna put you guys' social media link out right here. What are the ones you guys want to promote?
Okay.
Let's see.
Just Twitter and Instagram,
podcast,
and YouTube actually.
What was that?
You can find us at Bizarre Investigations Podcast.
Yes.
On all social media platforms.
Be sure
And
to
YouTube.
love y'all.
All right. I'm putting you guys' social media right here. Twitter.
Awesome. Yeah. We just finished our last episode today for our first season, so we're going to take about a month and a half long break. And then we'll be back at it to 20 episodes.
We still got 3 more released this season, though.
Yeah.
We recorded our last one today.
Podcast. And there we go. Putting it in the chat, and then I'm putting it on the screen.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for joining us today. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
And
Thank you. We appreciate it so much. Hopefully we can do it again.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, guys.
It's fun, guys.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Have
See you
a
later.
good one.
Safe.
And there we go. Yeah, definitely Josh and I can't remember the other guy's name. Is pretty cool guys. Definitely worth checking them out. I'm on a couple of their podcasts with them. Good stuff.
Listen to a couple of them. I listened to yours that you were on and a couple more of things.
Yeah, there's some good stuff on there. They did one in the Giza pyramids, which was pretty neat. That's why I was like, hey, we're gonna be talking about pyramids, so let's have them on as a guest anyways. So what's everybody also thinking about for those type of theories? Like, do you think it is possible? Do you think, with the whole Stargate type of thing, do you think there's like, the pyramids actually do possess Stargates where you can like teleport to different locations, and that's how we came up with all the pyramids in North America, pyramids in Mexico, pyramids in Europe, pyramids in Egypt. Yeah, definitely there's a lot of stuff that we don't know. I'm going to put you guys up. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about. Like, and when we actually discover all this stuff, I mean, how is it going to change our type of world? How is it going to change like the way we think and the way we operate? Like, if we do like the implants like Elon Musk is talking about, how is that going to change all of us? If they can implant you and you are cured of like blindness, of like Alzheimer's, like any type of medical sorry, burning text, but any type of medical illness, what's that going to mean for the rest of the world? If we can pretty much live forever, that type of with a subconscious, they could just take us out and implant us in anything, and therefore we're technically alive, and how would that affect your soul type of thing? But that's just another type of theory out there. Yeah, one of the theories that we were talking about earlier, Flyover, was that they said that scientists want you to believe is that the pyramids were built when the Nile came through all the way up to Giza pyramid, and they're supposedly had like 1,000 pounds, like 1 ton blocks on like little ships and like floating them all the way up, and they literally had like 4 minutes to get everyone in place and stuff. And I don't see it being feasible, but that's what the scientists and the government want you to think, so you're not asking too many questions. But I mean, I just think it's odd that we have pyramids all over the world, and now they're starting to find pyramids on Mars, and whoever else knows where pyramids come from, And Brandon's back. Well, I thought he was back. I saw him. Guess he's not back. Well, that's just awkward. I would probably volunteer for the implant, just because you gotta look at the pros and cons on it. Like the pros would be like, hey, you'd be cured of any type of medical illness. Maybe my back would finally be right and I stop have to go to the doctors. But the disadvantages is where the government would track you everywhere. Or anybody could track you anywhere. You couldn't really do much. All right. Oh, he's got a phone call. That's why. And he's back. The positive type of things would be like, all right, if all children and stuff like that get an implant when they're first born, you wouldn't have to be worried about your child being kidnapped. You could actually just with you have a lost pet or something like that, they're microchipped. You could track where they are. And that's one thing that I think would be a plus on it. And if you have a child that's sick or something like that, this single type of, is it the mark of the beast? Do you think it's the mark of the beast? I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't do it if it's the mark of the beast. Honestly, I don't know. My happy ass is going to heaven, hopefully. Man. What do you think about that whole thing? Would you volunteer for getting an implant?
Probably not.
Yeah, but if it could cure you and everything like that?
It depends. Depends on what they had to offer and if it was legitimate. I would like to know the statistics of it before I would actually do anything like that.
Right.
How many people, like for instance, if you did it, I wanted to know the lifespan of it, like 10, 15, 20 years down the road. Will this cure this people or not?
Right. Or is it just going to add something else,
Mm-hmm. Because, you're altering your brain. If it does do something, you're altering your own brain. It could do one thing, but it could actually hurt another option in your head.
No, what if they do, where you don't have to worry about identity thefts or anything like that, where everything is on a microchip that's in your, implanted in you, where for pay, you don't have to worry about having a debit card no more. Your paycheck automatically just goes right onto that. Your medical records, everything are all on top of that.
It's a very good question. They're doing it with dogs. The microchips for if you lose your dog, you can.
Yeah. I found my cat got away years ago when we were living at the apartment, and that's how we ended up finding her, is because she was microchipped.
And they just scan their chips when you go to the vet, and it brings up all their records and everything what they have had.
Right. Hey, I'm gonna put this up on here, and you tell me what you think about this.
It's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, a good valid point to it. I mean, there's pros and cons onto it. And the only thing another thing I'd be worried about is just like all computers, they can be hacked. How do you know somebody can't just hack into you and like, I'm being serious with you, like, and steal your money, your medical records, freaking void them to make it to through their type of like plans, like with the whole cover-ups and stuff like that. The government doesn't want you to know, doesn't want somebody to know. They go and clear all that. What's that?
You can also probably frame someone for a crime.
What's that?
It's got its pros and cons.
Yeah, it definitely has its pros. I mean, but I could just see the way we're going to that, where like thumbprint ID now, rectal scan, freaking for your eyes and stuff like that is being used as identification. Like, there's weapons in the military, they're only activated by your thumbprint, and that type of thing. What if there is one? Yeah, I mean, with the whole chip type of thing, they could just like send a signal, and next thing you know, your heart stops beating. Done. Like,
what if we already got the chip in it, so we just don't know? I mean, God supposedly controls our every emotion. He knows every hair on our head. He knows our all thoughts.
right.
He control when you die. How do we know that none of this is not a chip in general?
You never know. I mean, if that was the case, I think that I'd find it. They had some people that were supposedly abducted by aliens and stuff like that have like little chips in them, like little tracking devices. I've seen a couple episodes like that where they're talking about an ancient alien, and I'll put that up on there.
Okay.
Brandon always has scary ideas.
Yes, I do. I mean, you just never really know. I mean, it can be in numerous of things. That's why it's called conspiracy theories. That's why we have it in our brains.
Right, man. I mean, it's probably going to come. I would say probably in the next 20 years or something like that. Here's another theory on you. All right, so they put the chips in you and whatnot, and you suppose it can live forever. What about your soul? Would that compromise it?
I don't know.
Because like if you're like life force energy, say they take that chip and it's like pretty much your whole subconscious and then put it into something else. Does your soul go with it?
That's a very good question.
And they've proven that humans have, like, they call it what is it? Where the energy, like they call it the spirit type of thing. They said that everybody has it, and when they die and they lose that.
Crap. I know what you're thinking of. I just can't think of the word.
I can't remember the name of the word either, and I don't want to put out the wrong name. So, I mean, I think that, does your soul die with it, or does your soul come with you to whatever thing you're being implanted? Like you say, they put you in, put you in a robot or AI. Is your soul going to go with it, or are you just going to be a subconscious without, like, no fear of repercussions, no fear of anything,
Sort of like an iRobot type deal.
Yeah, type of thing. What do you think about that?
I don't know, really. I really don't know. It could be. That's mindsetting right there. It's like it does make you think of what would happen if something did happen like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna have I don't want to live without my soul. I don't want to be like the soulless and like no fear of repercussions or anything like that. I'd go buck wild.
What if they could bring back the dead, like our founding fathers of this country?
They could do that now with cloning. They could clone them. It wouldn't be the same type of person. You're only a product of your environment. Your personality develops by what you're around, but your traits and your characteristics would stay the same. Heck yeah, bring George Washington back. He's from Virginia. I mean, But like I said, what do you think? Like, would you want to talk to your like 20-year-old self?
I'll go back in time and do it. But like, bro, you need to just shut the hell up and do what you got to do to survive. Don't do stupid shit you done.
Yeah. But what about? Don't you worry about the butterfly effect too? If you go back and like you think of some bad incident that you had back in the day, what happens if you go back and you change it and you made it 10 times worse? Like butterfly effect. You're just like you change the ripple of time.
Sort of like the Back to the Future, where he told his dad to stand up to himself, and when he comes back to his house, everything's totally wiped different.
Yes, exactly. And there's like different type of movies like that. One's the butterfly effect. One's like Back to the Future. Where you're trying to change a certain incident in time, and you just end up messing everything up in the future, and everything's not lined up the way it's supposed to be. What God originally intended for you, what type of plan that was actually laid out for you before.
Well, even in Family Guy, they've done that.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on The Simpsons.
I mean, it makes you wonder, really. It does. It really makes you wonder what is actually going on and what they're actually supposed to tell you, but they're not.
Right. I mean, I just think anything's possible, going back to the whole pyramid thing. What if all this stuff, like all the hieroglyphs are just big warnings to people and how to survive? What if it's like they're telling their story, how, what happened to them on a different planet and stuff like that, and how they became extinct and how they got here. And we just don't understand that type of, what they're actually right now because, language barrier type of thing, and things are getting lost in translation. Just like with the whole Bible type of thing, when they're, the Bible is interpreted by man makes faults. So how can you believe everything that's like written in the Bible word for word,
Exactly.
I mean, I believe in God, I do.
I do too. I'm just saying the word of God is supposed to be in the letters of red or the coloring of red in the Bible.
Yeah.
That's the only thing possibly we should be able to believe, not everything else.
Right, man. Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna put this on here.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely think that, man, there's too many different theories. Like, what happens when we truly unlock our minds? And like, I'm being honest with you. Like, there's people that, we're only using 10% of our brain right now. If we had that chip implanted, would we be able to unlock our full potential?
That could be dangerous on everybody, though. Because everyone that thinks like we do, it'd be like a circle effect, and it could just get real heated real easily because you could disagree on something I would say, disagree with you or Dustin or Carrie or Lisa, whoever. It just get into one huge, it's just like the political deal.
Right.
One side versus the other, and it's just one huge shitstorm, basically.
I think there's pros and cons about having the chip type of thing. If they could do it without being hacked and like no evil intentions behind it or anything like that, I think it'd be a good thing because then you would be able to track, like, if you're missing your kid or something like that, or somebody kidnapped your kid.
Do it for the good of man, not the evil of man.
But unfortunately, it is human nature. Somebody would come along and fuck it up. Pardon my language, but that's the truth.
We've done it for millions of years now.
What's that?
We've done it for millions of years to screw a lot of things up in this world.
Right, man.
I mean, it's not just me. I've had my faults, but
I appreciate everybody coming on today and watching us, especially in the middle of the afternoon. We had to do that because that's the only time that Josh and everybody could join. I'm going to put their stuff up one more time. Next Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, East Coast time, we will be joined by Haunted, Unhaunted, Paranormal. and we'll be going back to doing paranormal talks. We're going to be talking about some upcoming investigations, different things that we've found on investigations, and everything like that. Make sure you guys tune in and everything like that. We'll be doing probably another show or two here in the future about conspiracy theories once we come up with new ones.
Me? Oh, Lord.
Brandon.
Okay. Well, I've been doing some research, and now you all are aware of how celebrities like to fake their deaths, supposedly. But there is 3 of them that I can actually done research on, and Jay's done seen my evidence that I have. I'm not going to put it on here because it's privacy, reasons. Plus, I haven't had a chance to edit the photos that I've sent him, because I don't want everyone to know their physical addresses or phone numbers and stuff like that. One of them is Mr. Tupac. Now, we have discussed this, and I still believe he faked his death and he's hiding out somewhere.
Hey, what's going on, David?
David, what's up?
Now, you really think that Tupac's still alive? You think he's smoking J's in Cuba? Or do you think he's living here in the United States?
Well, according to my...
Or do you think he's that one rapper that sounds just like him? I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
We were, like I told you the other day, we were watching the Unsolved that was on the Netflix series.
Right.
That dude does look like who was playing him looks just like him as modern Tupac. Now, as evidence that I found, he's got different places. One is, I'll go back and read it real quick. Where's my photo evidence? Let's see here.
Now, Tupac Shakur, he supposedly died in April of 1997, shot outside the Grand Casino in Los Angeles. What's that?
September of 96.
96? Okay.
In Vegas.
Yeah, outside the casino in Las Vegas. I'd love to go do a quick little EVP there, see if you get anything from him.
Now, I've got one right here. His current address is supposedly in Los Angeles, and he's been there since of May of 06. Different phone numbers. He's had them from May of 06. Some of them one of them's been in June of 13, June of 14,
right.
13, 11, some in July of 08. And he's also got multiple previous's. One is in Cleveland, Ohio. One is in Sacramento, California. Sherman Oaks, California. And this has been recorded since 13, 11, and 99. And also, he has a place supposedly in Missouri, Lake Tahoe, another one in California, which is 12 and 09.
Now, have you ever seen the video where he supposedly died that night, right after the Tyson Holyfield fight, where he got into a fight in the lobby and on his way out? And when he went outside, there was some dude riding with Suge Knight, supposedly gunned him down.
Yep, I've seen that. But
over the Chris Wallace, aka Notorious B.I.G.
Yep.
Rest in peace.
If they are. Now, like I said earlier, I know Wikipedia is not the best source, but looking over the files, did you know that they got pulled over before they had the gunman happen to them? They got pulled over for not having tags on Suge's car.
Yeah.
And then about 30 minutes later, that's when he supposedly got gunned down.
Now, did you read in Dustin's comment? Here, I'm going to put this up here.
Go ahead. I have. According to the actual record, he got shot supposedly 4 times, two in the chest, one in the leg, and one in the lungs. And the reason why he supposedly died was cardiac arrest and lung failure.
Yeah.
According
Collapsed
to
lung, coughing up blood.
yeah,
Choking on his own blood. Man, I would love to think that Tupac would still be alive, because that's the type of shit I grew up with, man. I grew up in the 90s, and Tupac and Notorious, Nas, you know? And that was a shit, man. I tell you what.
it's just kind of strange that on my source, when you've seen it, usually when someone dies, they put their birth date and their death date on it. None of them that I sent you has that on there. They just their age, which is 48 this year.
Man, I've heard for a while that he was in Cuba for a long time too. One by that Costa fella.
Machiavelli.
No.
Well, I mean,
something really different. Let me look up his thing right here, and I'll play the music for you. And it sounds just like Tupac. And we're gonna have to take it out because copyright shit.
Infringements, but
continue talking. I'll keep on. I'm just gonna look at this really quickly.
But yeah, I've done lots of research on this and trying to figure out the best way to present it without blabbing where they supposedly are or anything like that. And a couple more of them I'm going to talk about is one you just mentioned was Chris Wallace, which is Notorious B.I.G. And our famous one that I still believe faked his death, definitely, which he's probably dead now because of his age, is Mr. Elvis Presley.
Yeah, this guy called Casanova.
I'm going to show you, but you've probably seen it, the unsolved guy that played him. I'm going to show you. That's the actor that played him in the unsolved Netflix series.
Right.
Now, rapping, it didn't sound like him because I was like, But if you actually
you got to figure, if Tupac's alive right now, he's got to be pushing 50.
He's 48.
Yeah. The same age as Eminem, Dre, Snoop, all of them, Fuck, I feel old.
That's the truth.
I mean, but, it could be possible. I've known people that do that for stupider reasons. You look at, yeah, Dustin, definitely look that up. It's called Casanova with a K. And you'll see the dude sounds just like Tupac. Now, you want to talk about Biggie.
Now,
you don't think
has the same stuff going on, just like I showed on about Tupac.
But why? Why would both of them kill each other or fake their own deaths? Dude, they were like multi-millionaires back in the 90s. Think how much money they would both be worth right now if they were alive.
That is true.
Look at how much Dre shit still sells. Fuck, you got Ice-T doing freaking commercials trying to sell you insurance on cars now. Come on now.
No, it's just really strange how they have multiple phone numbers, multiple addresses, and they only has two. And Tupac only had one kid before he died, and he wasn't even old enough to even know. And Chris, he's only has two kids, so how do we know that's Junior?
You never know. Honest to God truth, when you actually sit down and think about it, and some of these people, maybe they wanted to get out of the glam and the freaking flashlight and stuff like that. But on the same aspect, dude, you're so rich, you could pay for any type of security that you ever wanted. You wouldn't have to worry about nothing for the rest of your life. So why would it be even I don't know. Honestly, God truth, I don't know. I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't either. Yeah, it's just Maybe they like what you said. Maybe they wanted to get out of the limelight and just be there for their actual families without trying to get killed.
Right.
That's all back in the 90s they rapped against. There was just turf war and rap war. It's East Coast, West Coast, and
Oh yeah, dude.
but a rap war pretty much.
Biggie's underground stuff that he used to do. He was actually a pretty big name in the streets and like on the lower levels, not mainstream, just like Eminem was before he became Eminem, you know, before he get like 99, like he had stuff come out with like DJ Scams back in the freaking early 90s that would like, you want to listen to some crazy raps, listen to that.
Yeah.
Honest goodness truth.
I mean, it could be numerous of things out there. I mean, they could have faked them, and they could have been technically, you know, they could have really died. So,
Yeah.
without actually being there, physically seeing it happen ourselves, and being actually physically seeing their actual reports, then we really don't know what happened.
Mhm.
And it just goes back to my theory about being dead or being alive. In Georgia, I know you've probably seen a couple of videos and seen videos and photos of Tupac's supposed graveside,
Right.
which is a huge cross fountain and him a statue. It's abandoned now.
Yeah.
It wasn't if he was truly alive. Now this is just my thought. Just in my brain, no regulation whatsoever. If he was truly alive, why would he go abandoned?
Yeah.
I mean, I've got family members that passed on. I know they passed on, and we keep up their headstones in our family cemetery clean as a whistle.
All right.
Let them get destroyed.
Right.
I don't know.
I mean, it's just kind of funny that, you know, here it is like over 20 years later, and neither one of their murders are any closer to being solved than they were back then, too, you know. Both of them. I mean, Elvis, well, he supposedly killed himself or had an aneurysm or something like that on the shitter.
Yeah.
What a shitty way to die.
Unintended.
I've been in Graceland, and as soon as you walk in the door, they say you look straight up, and you're looking right in the bathroom floor where he was.
Right.
I've been in Graceland, and I've not really.
They wouldn't allow you upstairs.
No, well, they still don't. They won't allow no one upstairs. They left it supposedly back in the 77, the way it was in 77.
Well, when we were there, remember they said that there was family there that we get.
Yeah. And why? I mean, if he wasn't dead, they wouldn't have family functions at Graceland. Lisa Marie and her family and kids would not come over there.
Right. But Lisa Marie still visits Michael Jackson's.
Neverland Ranch. And see, that goes back to Neverland Ranch. And Michael Jackson. That's another theory of mine.
No, Michael Jackson's dead, dude. I seen his. Yeah. I seen his photos.
Well, when I showed you, though, too, with all the multiple different.
Right.
Multiple phone numbers and everything like that. And that's a legit source.
So, what do you think? Do you, like, in your honest opinion, do you think that they really did fake their deaths and stuff like that? Or do you, like, think they died?
It's a toss-up.
I mean, right on. I've never really thought about it. Like, out of all three of them, I would say Pac probably had the more reasons to do it than Ye or Elvis at the time. Pac had, like, he was getting death threats from all over, you know, freaking, when he started the whole West Side against East Side, you know, freaking type of war. He was getting threatened all over, even though he went to jail in New York. So, and
it was just one huge war between sides. So I'm like you, he had more of a legitimate reason
Yeah.
Elvis, he did have a reason, but at his age, I don't know.
He wasn't out at the height of his popularity when he died.
Yeah. I mean, in 77, get this. In 77, Freedom Hall in Johnson City here. He came here in 77 and done a concert.
Yeah.
Before he died. It was like 3 weeks before he died.
Right on.
But, I mean, with all the crap that he'd done over the years, the drugs and the alcohol and everything, being part of the drug task force under the president. So, I mean...
Right. I mean, people are still saying that freaking JFK really didn't die either.
Well, I heard it was not heard, but my theory is it was not the actual gunman from the school depository. I was thinking it might have been one of his secret services.
Okay, here's a question for you. Interesting question for you.
Okay.
Why is the assassinator for JFK and the assassinator for Abraham Lincoln both have 3 names?
666, I guess. I don't know.
And you have to figure Lee Harvey Oswald and William something Booth. Also, I want to get into, do you think they're among us? Honestly, do you really think that aliens are living among us, like reptile people that look just like humans and you just can't tell the difference, and type of stuff like that? What is your theories on this? Yeah, I think they are around among us. I mean, look at the technology, look at our technical advances that we've done in the last, probably like 60 years or so. Brandon, just give me a thumbs up when you're ready to come back on. And the theory that gains more from. Yeah, I definitely think the mob dropped JFK. Honestly, he had too many connects with the Irish mafia. That's my personal opinion, but I've also heard that type of theory that way. He's still alive. But I definitely go back to the aliens and stuff like that, reptilians. I mean, my personal opinion is looking at the technology advances and like you listen to all this stuff that like the government's releasing now, 20, 30 years after it actually happened, that legitimizes it. You talk to like fighter pilots and they're all coming out and saying, yeah, I saw stuff flying out of mountains. I've seen stuff flying out of oceans. They released the TikTok videos and everything like that. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Like, do you think the TikTok videos are real? Do you think they're fake? And here comes Brandon again. Say hi to Brandon.
Hi.
Hi. We're talking about the TikTok videos. Now, do you think those are real?
Do I know?
Do you think that TikTok videos are real? Like the aliens, the UFO, the one the Pentagon just released last week?
I don't know.
Do you think it was a drone?
Research.
What's that?
I've not seen much research on them, so I'm not really.
Oh, dude, totally check out the videos of it. I mean, they played it on the news and everything like that.
I don't pay attention to the news. Because, my theories on the news. I don't pay attention to that shit.
I think those videos are real just because the reaction alone from the fighter pilots and being a member of the military, it's the jargon they talk in. It's the exact same way that we talk. Everything like that. Now, they could be here taking DNA samples out of humans and crossbreeding it, like what Chris is saying, making it freaking where they're trying to survive on this planet eventually.
That could be possible.
I think that's, definitely.
Why is some people, to go back to this virus, why is some people is surviving this by getting out and still moving around like me and you and all the rest of the workers? And I
I've already told you my theory on this. I think it is an alien-born disease that's taking out crossbreeds. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or nothing like that, but like taking out crossbreeds or people of alien descent where it's not affecting other people. Because this disease is only, it seems like it happens to get to certain people and not other people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, what, you won't be able to eat it.
and why is like the government all hush hush about it? And like they're trying to tell us to wear masks and gloves and everything like that, but they don't realize that it's for humans to freaking breathe in and get sick and get these different type of illnesses. This is how we build up our own immune system to begin with. You know?
If you're wearing a mask and you cough or sneeze or whatever, you're still breathing in that whatever.
Well, what if you had the corona before and you wear a mask? You're just going to get the corona again. If you have the flu again, you're going to get it right back in, you know? I mean, there's all different type of theories, but my personal opinion is I think the corona is an alien-born virus and it's taking out people that are crossbreeds and stuff like that. I mean,
True.
I ain't trying to be mean or nothing like that, dude. And I
Or like what I said last week when we were talking a little bit about it, that they had to, their immune systems had to be either too low to to get it or to survive from it, or hang on, dog walking, or they will. She's our new mascot. Or they were already sick before they had it, and it just made things worse on them.
Yeah. You never know, man. Freaking, I don't know. But there's different type of stuff that's going out there and everything like that. And like, I don't want to get into the whole corona thing that much because it's a hot topic.
I'm not sure. But what about this? The viruses that you go to the doctor with, that it's not the flu, it's not the sinus infection, it's not upper respiratory infection. They just throw it off like it's a common cold, but you've got flu-like symptoms or corona symptoms. You don't test for it. So,
right. I don't know. Like, in case this shit is real, I'm gonna follow the guidelines just because I'm at high risk and I don't need to get, you know.
but
honestly, I don't need to do that today.
Have to go to the doctor to get tested for it. Do not do it.
I know. I had a doctor's appointment today, and it was all over the phone.
Well, you know, we had that scare here with her. And she went to the doctor, and she had that tested, and dear God.
They shoved that thing right up her nose into her brain, pretty much.
6 inches up your
It's
nose.
a 6 inches rod.
It goes up both sides of your nose.
Right.
And after they pull it out, your nose bleeds.
I mean, no.
Sorry, I was talking with my mouth full.
That's all good. I mean,
it's. I don't know.
I never know either. I mean, we'll talk about it in 20 years. I just can't wait until 2040 when you're gonna get those commercials on the radio, on the television and be like, were you forced to work during the 2020 coronavirus? Were you considered essential? Are you having problems breathing now? If so, call this number. Kaufman and blah, blah, blah. We care.
Goldstein and Goldstein.
I think so. The Goldstein commercials.
Yep.
I can see us. Or if you're high, or if you ever had to huff the Lysol sprays while during the pandemic, you may be at risk.
Or if you were tested.
Yeah. So it could be. I would hope.
I mean, but anyways, go back to the aliens living among us. What if that UFOs or aliens were every type of like president, like authoritative figure in the world? Could they not mold us and make us put in fear elements and try to control us that way? using fear to control people.
I'm gonna have to mute it again. Sorry, it's upstairs.
Oh,
Oh. Does anybody think that way, or is it just me? I mean, like, I truly believe that, you know, they're put into authoritative positions because they're trying to mold us and trying to control us, and they see what works and what doesn't, you know? I mean, they're like, hey, I can control this person this way. I can control this person that way. Let me get into their mind and make them think what they want to do, you know? Right. Nah, man, freaking Republicans, Democrats, it don't matter. I don't know what's going on with the whole thing, but no, it's just different ideas that, you know, I want to put out there. And I know this episode's kind of like winging it, but we're going to be good. Good?
Yeah, but for now.
Does anybody want to come on with us to discuss some these theories with us?
You're more than welcome to.
More than welcome to. Just drop your email. First person that does it gets invited. I'll send you the link. Only thing is, we don't talk about hot topics. We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about Brendan.
Me?
No.
No politics and no hate.
Yeah, no hate, propaganda. We're not talking shit about nobody. Nothing like that. We're all about positivity. So if anybody wants to come on, drop your email right there. I'll send you a link. What do you think of the other videos of the UFOs? Like, do you think it's a coincidence that during this whole coronavirus that there's been a lot more UFO sightings than normal?
It's too much of a coincidence, if you ask me.
Man.
Why now?
Yeah. It's like, are we gonna get some Independence Day type of shit? Like a mothership, so we fly right above the White House.
Well, there goes my holiday.
With the whole UFOs getting sightings, everything like that, man, I don't know what's really gonna happen. Like, oh, I really don't know. I'm waiting for the day that, you know, everybody just comes forward. Dude, if aliens came down in here, Chris, I would totally accept them. I mean, I'm gonna put that up on the screen. Yeah, if aliens came in here, dude, I would totally accept them 100%. Like, I just have so many questions for them. You know, take me with you.
Leave the bunghole alone, and you can take me.
Man.
Promise me
But
one.
do you think they're taking, like, when they do that type of stuff, and people are having, like, when they talk about that fourth kind type of thing, where the aliens are connected to you, do you believe in all that?
I do.
I mean,
it's always up.
the fourth kind, you know, where it talks about how aliens will haunt you and they come to you in your dreams, and you're, like, telepathically connected to them the whole time.
Probably. I mean, you know the theory that I told you, that chick that messaged us last year, probing her husband and doing all that crap. So yeah, at first I thought she was just out of whack, but you know, it's all possible.
Oh yeah, anything is possible, man.
It is.
Like, honest goodness truth, like, you look at some of the stuff that from nowadays, and then Chris says he's going to take one for the team. We approve this message.
Better you than me. They love fat people.
I already told you you're not fat, you're hot. Heat expands. Okay? No negativity. Oh yeah, brought to you by Miller Lite. Tastes great, less filling. 96 calories per can.
Well, ain't mine, but that's hers.
You can't see it through you.
Oh. There got the pawpaw. Sota.
And okay,
Just going back to the Back to the Future video, in the very beginning, well, not the very beginning, but everyone's seen it. The beginning of time where it says where you can go back to see Jesus' birth.
yeah,
It says 12/25, well, December 25th, 0000.
yeah,
How do we know that Jesus and Mary technically ain't our mother and father?
right. I mean, never do. And honestly, because Jesus had if I remember this correctly, Jesus had a brother, and they talk about him once in a while in the Bible. I can't remember his name though. It's been so long. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like what Chris is saying, like I definitely think that Noah was not from this world, because where they were living, in the Middle East, like there's no possible way he could have came out with whiter than me and Brandon without a shirt on, and blue eyes and blonde hair and stuff like that. I mean, there's no possible way. His hair was like basically like Snow White. He doesn't know that, he got all these things, and I think that all these prophets and everything like that they talk about, or whatever type of religion was, that I think that there were hybrids crossed between humans and aliens, just like, Thor, Louis, Odin,
And where did we get,
Noah,
and where in the world did we get dinosaurs out of all of it?
yeah.
Put animals on the ark to keep them from getting flooded and to keep the world going on. But there was no dinosaurs on there. But where did they come from? How did they get on this earth?
Right, man. It's just different type of theories. David is saying that Noah was from this world. I don't know, honestly. There's just too many different things out there, and I definitely think that that the Gaza pyramid was in fact Noah's Ark, and I think that instead of actual animals and like living things, I think they really did take DNA samples or slides more and created all the make sure we have, so things are not going to go extinct. You know what I'm saying? Now,
I agree totally.
and here's another one for you, Brandon.
Okay.
I'm trying to read David's comment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Dustin and him said David had a half brother, but wasn't mentioned much. Well, he had a half brother. And then David's at the bottom also said he wasn't even a half brother. So how do we know who was who? And like going to a song which we've heard earlier today, which you're familiar with, Five Finger Death Punch,
Yeah.
of Heaven. They state that God is a she.
Right.
God has to have the compassion to forgive everyone, just like a mother would forgiving their son when they are a daughter when they done wrong.
Right.
So how do we know that? I know everyone states, well, God is a he, and we pray to him and all that stuff. But how do we physically know that God is Mary
Yeah.
and Jesus is the Son of God? There you go.
Exactly. What I think.
This is a son of
My personal opinion, like, how do we know that Mary wasn't implanted with crossbred between alien DNA and human DNA?
Exactly.
She said she was a virgin. I'd hope she was a virgin. She was 14 years old or something like that.
Something like that.
And Joseph was an old man, which is creepy as enough, but different times, I guess.
Commandments don't do it, but that's frowned upon.
Right. Different times, it's just like if you're talking about even Christians do polygamy, Muslims, Christians, different religions do different things, Yeah, look at the Mormons, like with the polygamy, where they said that Joseph Smith had a vision when him and Brigham Young were on their way across the United States, that they told them to have many wives, to have many children, to spread the word of the true church. And whether you believe that or not, I'm not saying it's not like that.
True.
And well, it's only time will tell. And at the end of the time, we'll all meet our maker and we'll find out, hey, that's real. Or hey, that's,
Yep.
My personal opinion, I think there is a heaven, purgatory, which is earth, which is why we have so many spirits on earth, whether they be trapped or the world was created through Jesus and then became human. Yeah, that makes sense.
It does.
It really does. But anyways, yeah, why we have so many spirits and stuff like that. Do you think there is alien spirits on this planet? And we can't just say humans have spirits. I'm sure cats and dogs and all animals have spirits.
That's possible. If there's such a thing as a real alien, then you would think they would have to have a spirit.
Right.
That is if, but it's. I wonder if anyone's actually had a chance to find out if there was alien spirits out there.
That'd be kind of interesting, type of theory. Oh, dude, demons, I don't know. I know demons are not from this world. I've dealt with demons. I've got pictures of demons or anything like that. I'm not a demonologist or anything like that, but I do know demons are real. They are not from this world, though. I can tell you that much.
But then again, demons can manifest into other objects, too.
Right.
So,
I just think it's weird that, every time you hear of a demon spirit or anything like that, it's coming into the voice of a child.
Yeah. So, they could be possible, the alien, they can manifest into aliens somehow.
Yeah.
For all we know.
Yeah. You never know. But I don't think if they're, if aliens are among us and stuff like that, I don't think they mean us any harm, honestly. Maybe there is certain ones that try to make us harm or anything like that, but I don't think that aliens themselves are coming here to harm us,
I think they're just trying to make their presence known.
Yeah.
Just let us know that they're there.
Maybe they're just curious about us.
All right. Now, I'm going to put this on the screen that Ancient Site Preservation Group came up with, and I didn't know this. Oh, not that one. This one.
Where to?
There we go. Now, did you know anything about this, Brandon? I know you're a lot more studied up on.
No, I didn't. Look at that.
That is true. Because they didn't know how Mary came along.
Right.
She just kind of appeared, and then Jesus just appeared.
Yeah, it's just like how supposedly he popped out of a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Someone had to do it. I'm not saying to be mean, but someone had to do it. We all know how kids are made.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The whole, she was a virgin before. How do you know that, some alien didn't go to her in the middle of the night and, inject her with,
Mm-hmm. In the not Passion of Christ, but there was what was that movie we watched that showed her saying that she knew that had someone come to her. There was one of the. There was one show or something we've watched, and it shows her laying in bed or in the middle of the night saying, "I've got someone, comes here."
Yeah, there's someone that comes here, something like that.
So we don't.
Yeah.
Supposedly Jesus is the Son of God. But yet, the only person we know that's Bible related wise is his so-called Mother Mary.
Right. I mean,
So maybe she is God. It's just where she's never really don't know where she's came from. Like Chris said, it was the mysterious.
yeah.
How do we know that she's not legit God at the time? And when she finally dies, everything falls in place like that.
Right. Right. It's totally possible, honestly. Like, I just think it's quite interesting. And I do think, there's more to it than we actually know. And that we
Is
scientifically proven,
that is very true.
Yeah. Yeah, Leah was the first woman, not Eve. Yes. She was more made out of what you call it, Adam's rib cage.
Mm.
And yeah, I've heard that story. Have you heard that one, Brandon?
The other woman instead of Eve.
Yeah, Leah.
Yeah.
Yes. It's quite interesting. Pretty dark. I mean, if you ever read the Bible, if you read, what you call it?
It's creepy. Revelations.
Yeah, Revelations is pretty messed up.
It makes you wonder, though. It does make you actually wonder what this world's really coming to.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's like the pandemic. They say people are going to freak out. They're going to massive death. I mean, I think this is just his way of knowing that he's preparing himself to come back. And this is the only way he was going to do it, is put this pandemic together.
yeah. But I don't think it's the coronavirus. I mean, I don't think. But I told you my theory on the coronavirus. But we're not going to talk about the coronavirus more. That's a hot topic.
How I feel about it, too.
Yeah. All right. So here's one last theory for the night. Okay?
Sure. I was reading the comments.
What if Bigfoot is a UFO? And the reason why you can't see him is because he can do like some predator type of shit and turn himself where you can't see him. Like,
Shapeshifter.
Or what's that?
What if he is a shapeshifter?
Yeah, some type of that type of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that is possible? And the reason why we haven't got I've seen some pretty good videos of Yetis, but they weren't able to define them or anything like that. And you've never seen an actual unblurred photo or anything like that of him. Now, do you think that is true, or do you think that Bigfoot is just another urban myth?
50-50.
What does that mean?
Like,
What are you going to do, us, the audience?
well, yeah, we could. But no, seriously, like as you said, every time you see a photo, it's nothing but blurry.
Yeah.
You can never catch him, supposedly, but yet they make commercials out of him, or commercializing him. I mean, and they made a cooler after his name. I mean, where's the actual physical evidence of proving that he is a real thing? We know ghosts and demons are out there. We've seen them. We've worked with them. But we never can catch a 7-foot monkey suit and a ghillie suit person. We can never catch them.
Is that kind of like Mothman?
We're going there.
We can do that, man. Like, we were talking about that, I don't know if it was like last episode or the episode before, but about the Mothman being actually, freaking half human, half moth. Aliens created it using crossbred, freaking taking half our DNA and mixing it with, but I'm a little bit out there, so I mean, And
Chris is coming at the bottom.
I smell it. yeah, I definitely think I do believe in this, like what David's saying right here. Yeah, that's what we're just talking about. I mean, it's always possible, like either interdimensional or freaking something like that. You know, it's totally up in the air. Like, why haven't we got any
Actual proof
of it? And if they do got DNA samples, why don't they clone it to find out if there really is one? You know?
True.
Like, I would think that if you do have like Bigfoot's DNA, and we cloned a sheep like 20 years ago, and I think they're still cloning certain things and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know, why wouldn't we clone it? If we actually had Bigfoot's DNA, why wouldn't we clone it? You know, just to find out what it actually looks like and what it actually, you know, what's its characteristics, what does it eat, what is its lifestyle? Is it like a humanoid that hasn't fully developed to a human, you know, like a caveman type of thing, you know? Why can't we ever see it? Can it turn itself invisible, you know?
no. I mean, they make.
Hi, Rose. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for joining us.
Hello. It's just too strange why we can never get decent evidence on it. Just way too different.
Right. I mean, there's just different theories out there, and like David's saying that it's probably a gargoyle. Could be. You never know. I mean, honestly, like I would love if I was like some sort of time traveler or something like that. I would love to go back, like, you know, a couple thousand years and to actually see what, you know, other things are seeing. You know, when what you call it? Da Vinci was painting those like the pictures and chapels and stuff like that in Europe. You know, he's putting alien UFOs type of stuff that we see today in the background of the picture. You know, people say it's a paint smudge or anything like that, but I would love to see what they're actually seeing. You know, and why was, like with Bigfoot and stuff like that, why would there be so many sightings dating back thousands of years if there wasn't some sort of truth to it? Whether it be, you know, false or not. Why would you have, same with lake monsters, you know, like with, what's the famous one? The Loch Ness monster in Scotland. Why would you have so many reportings here? Like you have Memphre and Memphre Magog. You have, you know, what's some of the other ones? Come on now.
That mermaid alien looking that hit that sub.
Yeah.
About what, 2012, 13, somewhere in there?
Right.
So where's that at? We've only seen one video of it.
I 100% agree with David that the government is doing cloning experiments to see, you know, what is, like, you know, it's cloning certain things, but they're not releasing it, you know? Now, do you think with the alien DNA being so much different than humans or whatnot, do you think they could clone them?
I think they could. I mean, why? I mean, if it's, I mean, if you can't, or I mean, if you can,
Yeah.
why is it blocked off so much? Why is everything such a secret?
Right. Well, because they're worried about people actually handling the truth or whatnot. You know, they worry that normal people can't handle what is actually out there.
True.
You know, and they can't handle certain things. You know, and that's the only thing I'd be worried about. If like an alien came out, you know, out of the blue, they had a big old press conference, and it was on the news or something like that, and said that yes, aliens are real. Meet Joe. Joe is from Kepler B52. You know?
True.
I mean, how do you think the normal people would? Dude, I think leprechauns were just like people that suffered for dwarfism from Ireland. It's just my opinion. Personal opinion. Trolls, I don't know. Fairies, that'd be awesome. If they're like the fairies from like True Blood, awesome show. Recommend it. I would want to be a fairy. I want to be like one of those fairy vampire mixes. Here's another thing. Do you think vampires are real? So I've watched a lot of specials on that too. I mean, anything's possible, I guess. Yeah, Rose knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, come on now. Tell me you wouldn't want to be one of those vampire freaking... Yeah, Chris knows what I'm talking about. You wouldn't want to be one of those vampire fairy crossbreeds. Come on now. Yeah, I've seen some pictures and fairies and stuff like that. Not too many of them. I've seen more pictures of vampires, werewolves. I believe that was at what's it called? That condition. I can't remember the exact name of it. But where they have hair all over their face and everything like that. I think that's where the whole thing came from. One second. Oh, that's just Brandon. Okay. I've seen pictures and stories of vampires, and even in New Orleans, people that, and there was like an undercover guy that went in there and was volunteered to be a feeding specimen. But it was kind of weird because the guy didn't actually have fangs or anything like that. He'd like poke holes in the person's like back and shoulder and would drink their blood that way. And the counter argument to that was there just an iron deficiency in that person or anything like that. And that person obviously didn't go to the doctors and stuff like that to find out. And that's why they thought they needed blood to survive, you know, to get the iron out of it. I mean, but you never know, you know, that type of theories, you know. Then they said they always felt better when they were drinking it, but as far as living forever or anything like that, you never know. I mean, but would you really want to live forever? Nah, I'm good. You know? You never know. I mean, there's just different type of theories, Chris. I mean,
that is true.
Yeah. I do know, like Dave was saying, I do know that there's people out there that drink blood. I mean, but I also think it's like, you know, for my personal opinion, I think it's for an iron deficiency, you know, where like they don't have veins, they can't grow veins. They're like poking with a type of needle and like poking holes in somebody's back or something like that and drinking the blood that way. Like they even showed videos of the guy doing it. I was like, what the hell is wrong with people?
Damn, what the shit?
And this is why aliens stick freaking things up your butt.
That's why we have so many out there.
So, what was the best vampire that was written about, in your opinion? In my opinion, it's got to be Dracula. You got to go with Dracula. Come on now.
Oh, yeah.
Count Dracula, that's the oldest legend out there from Transylvania.
Yeah. And not the Twilight vampires either.
we were talking about True Blood, actually. Like, I'd say I'd want to be a cross between a fairy and a vampire. Like that one dude on True Blood, like on the last season. I totally want that life. I want to be a daywalker. Go with some blade type of shit, you know, without the whole injections and eat normal food, don't have to live off blood. Yeah, Dracula is cool as shit, dude. You read some of the old books on him, like it's pretty interesting stuff. The original count, and like how he was actually killed for that type of stuff. On a future episode, would you guys be interested in talking about witches, like the Salem witch trial and anything like that?
I'm down.
Would people actually be interested in hearing about that? Oh, Rose said she would love it. Awesome.
Let's do it.
Oh man, yeah. Have you, ancient site preservation group? Have you heard or watched that the videos of the Skinwalker Ranch? That is the shit.
That is.
I do think that Helltown is connected with that type of stuff too, though.
I wouldn't doubt that one bit.
Boston, Ohio. Gosh, I can't wait to go out and do some investigations. This quarantine bullshit needs to end. I haven't been in an investigation in months.
Well, it's just like before we went live, all we were talking about it.
Definitely, because a lot of religions, especially Christianity, and you look it up, and it's not a bad thing or anything like that. And I'm not talking bad about Christianity or any type of religion. We don't do that on this show. Is the fact that they just did it to basically hide secrets, and they don't want stuff being told. Look at the Da Vinci Code type of thing. I mean, you look at all these, you look at England back in the day in the 1700s when the bad pagan Norse men were coming in, the Vikings were coming in. Oh, Rose got to do an investigation today. I'm so jealous.
You suck.
I wish we get to go on an investigation. Hey, what's going on, Michael? No, I mean, I would love to go out and do an investigation right now, honestly. But I can't go anywhere or anything like that. I go from home to work, and that's about it.
It's gonna make me cry, and you don't let me. Oh, the haters would really hate me now.
Oh, definitely. There is a large portal in that place. You read some of the freaking radiation type of thing.
True.
What they found on that place is insane. Now, that I do want to go to Helltown. I mean, that's 6 hours away. I think that would be a great investigation to do. Yes, definitely. People that are at this. We had a psychic on last week who's also entered. Marie Francis, and some of the stuff that she knew and stuff like that we did not post was pretty cool. Definitely, if you guys are interested in a psychic reading, definitely hit her up. She was an awesome interview.
She was on paranormal team too.
Yeah, she's also part of a paranormal team too. But yeah, man, we definitely need to go out and do some spooky stuff. I want to go play with my dead friends.
I miss them.
Right now.
They're my best friends.
Yeah, they're my best friends. We do everything together.
It's okay because they know us.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? That's awesome, guys. Now, David, where are you guys from? That UFOs are among us, all aliens are among us.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think they hold government positions?
Yes, definitely. I believe it. And aliens don't drink Miller Lite; they drink Stella.
You're going to get the corona because you're an alien. Love you, babe.
Jug of water?
Actually, I'd like to see what Lisa thinks about UFOs and aliens. You tell them what you think, because we could be here all night if we start talking about like.
Oh no! Come on,
Come on, tell us about your alien. What you think about aliens?
They're like,
Come on, let's talk about it.
I don't know. They're here.
I'm located in Virginia. Dustin and Lisa are from South Carolina. Brandon's from Tennessee.
We're just one huge state away, pretty much.
Yeah, we're just like a squirrel in a fast lane trying to catch a nut.
Damn.
Oh, that just got awkward. No, honestly, do you guys think that Bigfoot is a UFO? Do you think he is, what's it called? Humanoid, which is like right before humans, like for the evolution. Do you think he's like a predator type of thing that can just turn himself invisible and like
Don't believe he's
cross between dimensions?
Well, a little bit of both, the predator idea and the dimension. I don't think it's a UFO. No, I don't think that. But as far as like the predator idea you came up, yes, I believe he can cloak himself or whatever a predator does.
Yeah.
Yeah, like make himself like, he's there, but he's not there.
Or like, I said in the comments earlier, maybe he's just fast as hell. Maybe he's like the Flash. Maybe he can just...
It set the woods on fire, though.
Before when I could run, I was like the Flash. Not so much anymore.
It gets the wood on fire every time he farted, if he was the Flash.
Or maybe his senses are so extreme that he senses you before you even get close.
Right. I mean, like type of smell type of thing. He can smell you from like a mile away or something like that before you even thought about it. Or is wearing a suit can see your heat signature.
There you go, right before he attacks you.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean,
I agree, David.
I'm gonna put that up on the screen.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, I definitely think that.
My poor eyes can't read that far.
Hey, what's going on, Nate? Here you go, Dustin. Well, wait.
Thanks, buddy.
I did say something I would do right there, Jay.
Yeah.
No waxing.
Dude,
Oh,
you got 400 subs, you're waxing.
You waxing all this out, Bo. All this.
That hurt.
If we get 400 subs, I'll shave my beard and Brandon will shave his beard too.
I shave anyway.
All right, let's do that. Put it out there.
I will do this.
Hey, it grows back, so I really don't care.
Everybody in the chat, y'all heard that, right? Put it out there. Let's get them.
A 3-month deal right here. This is how thick it already is in 3 months.
Wow.
Are you Bigfoot?
Probably.
Yeah, mine wouldn't do that in a year.
That's the difference between Dad. Dad's like, grow a little stash, a little bit of this and here. He's like, I don't know, why do you do this within a couple of weeks? So I don't know. It just happens.
But I'm totally gonna like wax your ass if we get 500.
Hey, man. No, that's 1,000 right there, Bo.
That's more than
Man,
I
I'm a theory of like shoot for the stars, land on the moon.
Literally.
That's what I was saying, like earlier. Anyways, go back to the Bigfoot thing. Like in the never mind.
Neanderthal.
the inner thought.
This right here.
That's good. That's good right there. Very well.
Yeah.
A heck of a question there.
Yeah.
What if it's an alien primate? What if there's, they let it loose on Earth?
Right.
I mean, they do say we evolved from monkeys, so I mean, you never.
There you go.
I don't think we evolved from monkeys.
I'm not talking about that.
Well, some of us. At least I did.
I like to refer to myself more as a.
Now we're primates. I want wow.
I can do it like they do it on the Discovery Channel.
I can see you doing it too.
Let's get it on.
I can see you in the corner, going out of your fur and just eating it. Be like,
Right.
then sit in the corner going,
Right on, right on.
Huh?
Now, what about the Loch Ness monster?
I believe in that too.
That's a
I thought-
waterproof Bigfoot.
I think
What's that?
That was a waterproof Bigfoot.
I just think that like Nessie is just a leftover, prehistoric.
That's the one I was looking for, Nesty. So we're talking about
Nessie.
the Loch Ness monster. They have that. They have They have Memphre and Memphremagog. They have Champ and freaking another one. I think it's like Sperry or something like that. Like Erie.
Erie, Indiana has one.
Yeah. They're all over the world, man.
I think it's just what was like not dinosaurs, crocodiles and alligators. I think they survived, managed to survive somehow, like a prehistoric dinosaur, sea creature.
Do you think Bigfoot just survived?
Huh?
Do you think Bigfoot just survived?
Possible. It's very well possible. But he's too smart to be.
You never know, man. Honestly.
Charles Darwin was full of shit.
What was that?
Darwin's.
Mark,
Yeah.
look what Mark.
Charles Darwin was full of that. True life. Now, what about vampires then?
Definitely, but not in the sense that we're all.
Right, like what I was saying, like with
Right.
the vampires, it could be like, but do you think it's from an iron deficiency?
Yeah,
That's why they need to drink blood. Like I was watching a special on that on the History Channel not too long ago, probably like a week or two ago, when they were talking about this, and like this dude from New Orleans who they went undercover to go see him and stuff like that, and they volunteered to be one of his how do you want to say it, like donors.
Yes,
And like they videoed him like drinking the blood and everything like that, like where he just like poked a bunch of holes in his back with like a little needle, and he only took like maybe not even an ounce of blood out, and he said he could feel it from his energy and stuff like that. Now, do you think that's caused from a iron deficiency, or do you think that's the real vampires will be like, I want to suck your blood. Type of shit,
I think it's a little bit of that and a little bit of idiotic.
Yeah.
But I do believe stuff like that. It was just misconstrued back in the day. They were very easy.
Like any type of story has like some sort of truth to it, whether it be like, from urban legends and stuff like that, there's got to be a little bit of truth to it.
Like, all right, well, say for instance, all right, some of his weaknesses. I mean, they're weaknesses, like the whole garlic deal. Well, some people believe that, they used garlic to repel mosquitoes. If you ate garlic, mosquitoes wouldn't bother you. And they believe that, they're bloodsuckers, so it would keep them away. So they thought, oh, Dracula's afraid of garlic. Stuff like that.
Oh, definitely a lot more oxygen on the. I was just reading ancient sites, preservation groups comment. Yeah, it was a lot more different than when dinosaurs were here, like the gases in the air and everything like that. And it was a totally different world. We didn't have carbon monoxide like we do now, with the CO2 gases going from our vehicles and everything like that. But we're also, okay, Dustin and Lisa, what do you guys think about The Simpsons? Are they time travelers?
I don't know, but they're very close.
I mean, how the heck do they predict that, Donald Trump was going to be president? How did they predict the killer bees? How did they predict all this different shit?
Yeah, the Tom Hanks deal, where the COVID-19 and all the crap, they've predicted a lot of crap.
Exactly. How do they know this stuff?
I don't know, but freaking Back to the Future did too.
Do you think they just had some sort of like psychic ability and like just came to them in a vision? And they just didn't understand it and they just like, oh, I'm going to write about it anyways.
Could be possible. Could be like some prophecy and the prophets being spoke to, like, what was his name? Nicodemus what was his name?
Which one?
Or something like that.
Yeah, that.
Nostradamus?
No, yeah, that's it. Nostradamus.
Yeah, the one that predicted the Twin Towers falling, and then said the two ones would fall from an eagle in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you never know, man. Seriously, you never know. Like, if it was just like some sort of flash they had. Seen a little bit, Nate.
Or maybe it was just, they just came up with the idea and it was just came to be some eerie way it came to be. Maybe they just had that
It's like
idea.
subconsciously programmed in everybody's head that's watched The Simpsons. They're like, oh, Simpsons said vote for Trump. I'm going to vote for Trump. Oh, The Simpsons said this, so I'm going to do that. Maybe.
Okay, but how'd they predict Honey Boo Boo? Mama June. How you gonna fucking predict that shit? You can't make that shit up. Come on now.
Very true.
It's all about subliminal messaging. That's what I'm thinking.
So you're saying Mama June watched The Simpsons and be like, I want to be that shit.
Or something, they still watch The Simpsons and was like, I got to find somebody like that. And then, I don't know.
But she was on that Toddlers with Tiaras first.
I don't know where it's coming from.
I didn't keep up with Honey Boo Boo.
Honey Boo Boo. Honey Boo Boo.
Kick her, give her a boo boo.
How's your guys' show doing? You guys' channel doing?
Doing all right.
Doing all right. Bullshit. You got like freaking growing every day.
Oh,
yeah.
Our subs will go up like 2 or 3, and then they go right back down.
Like they have since we started our channel. They ain't going nowhere. But our shows are fun.
Yeah.
We're having a blast doing them. We might not grow or anything, but we're having a blast doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's the important thing. As long as you guys are having fun.
Yeah.
You're doing it just to entertain yourself, like, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, I do like talking about interesting theories and different topics and stuff like that, and doing unsolved mysteries with Brandon.
You know what I'm saying? No, you know what? Right now, like you guys and us, we have the edge right now because everybody else is going to D-Live.
Yeah.
They're leaving YouTube and going to D-Live. So we have the edge right now on YouTube. So we can do our streams on YouTube and people will watch. Everybody else is going to D-Live.
What the hell is D-Live?
Don't go to D-Live. It's just a digital streaming.
Oh.
It's just like this right here. It's streaming, but they stream. I don't know. I guess because YouTube has their issues, their rules and stuff, and
Yeah.
D-Live just lets you be open. Everything.
Well,
Yeah, make sure we take out that Casanova song in the middle of the show.
Yeah, you better take that out or you'll be in trouble.
Brandon.
I'll try
The
to.
admin genius. I'm not. I am bad with computers. If you tell me to do it, it'd be like a 2-year-old with a crayon. Just right on the screen. And now, what do you guys think about the whole, like, what was I going to say? What type of shows do you guys like the most? Like, do you guys think that we should do with a more interviewing or the more free-balling, joking around type of shit?
Free balling. I like free balling.
Just do what we want.
Be ourselves.
The
You
hell
can throw it in there when you get to their attention. Throw that other stuff in there on them. You got them. But your guest is the thing that makes y'all is your guest. And y'all are killing with these guests. You got some awesome guests. Not like I don't know who was supposed to come on tonight, but you guys got to have really good guests.
It is what it is. It's like, okay, Brandon, like, what do you guys want to do? And like, we're just like, all right, we're gonna free ball this one, and like, freaking, let's just start talking about conspiracy theories because I could talk for hours on conspiracy theories, like different type of things. Whether we're talking about celebrities that faked their deaths, about freaking UFOs, aliens, Bigfoots, Mothman. And the whole government's under control of aliens, and
The government's corrupt as it is.
type of thing. And or if this episode really was brought to you by Miller Lite or not. Is this a real Miller
Keep on,
Lite?
it might be. Keep on, it might
Wait for
be.
sponsorship.
Or be
I'm waiting for that sponsorship, man. I've been advertising this shit now for like 6 weeks.
What? I'm watching the chat. What happened?
Yeah. Okay, first off, Michael, me and Dustin didn't laugh at you. We all laughed at you because when you froze that night, that was funny.
That was
That
good.
was I still got a picture of that on my
Love you,
phone.
Mark.
I said 3 balling because of y'all 3. 3 balling.
3 balling. Got it.
Mhm.
What else? What we missed?
We're all different, dude. I've like, if there's like the weirdest person out of everybody that talks to us, it's like, it's gotta be me. I'm the most fucked up person. Freaking,
Here.
I'm the craziest one out of all of us. I guarantee you that.
Believe it or not, he is. Believe it or not, and he's like this everywhere.
Yeah.
Just don't hear. He's like this all the time.
But I'm not mean. I can't read you because you have too many barriers around you. I'm like, oh, well, this just got awkward. You know? But she was a good person. I mean, honest to God truth, like that was probably like one of the best guests that we've had, for interview style wise. And
Oh, yeah, really. I was
what's that?
deep in that one, man. I said I was deep in that one. That was a good one.
Yeah.
What was her name? Marie?
Yeah, Marie Francis. You can find her on Twitter at Marie Francis 31. It was really good. I mean, honest to God, she does good readings and everything like that. Man, I thought it was quite interesting. And I don't hate anybody either, David. I'm honest to God truth. You look at anything like I post, it's all about freaking peace and freaking positivity. I don't have time for hate in my life or anything like that. Somebody wants to come out with me some negative stuff, I will block you in like 2.5 seconds. I don't mind. I don't care. My block finger is strong. I don't have time for it. I'm too old for that shit, I'm 40 years old. I ain't got time for freaking your little high school bullshit games. You want to say I fake evidence? Come on with me, dog.
Let's see here. Which one?
I ain't got time for that shit. And anybody that really knows me knows I can't do shit with a computer. So that's because of the truth.
I can validate that right there. I've been with him on an adventure, on an investigation, and he does not fake anything. As real as
No, so I mean, I'm a goofball, but
that he is. He keeps you laughing. But he doesn't fake it. The real as
no.
I'm sitting here.
Oh, now you're not sitting there. So what's that mean?
Exactly, Chris. Like honestly, like I would love to show somebody that says I fake anything. Come on, come with me. I mean, I would say probably 75% of investigations we go to that we don't have any proof or anything like that, any evidence at all. We don't hire nothing like that, and that's why I'm an ultra skeptic when it comes to apps and stuff like that. Like my hardcore evidence either comes from EVP recordings that nobody else is around, or from the full spectrum camera. Like even the SLS camera, I love the SLS camera, but you never know with that, what type of entity is actually picking it up, Oh, definitely. Like what Nate says, here, I'm going to put this on here. 100%. People do shit for the clicks. We could do a whole episode on that.
On fakers right now. We could do a whole episode on fakers right now and point every one of them out.
Yeah.
But we're above that.
But we don't do that.
No.
Well,
We're about spreading positivity.
Exactly.
positivity.
Eventually, they will hang themselves, so to speak, and that's on
But-
them.
Dustin.
Huh?
You have a demon behind you. I'm going to grab that demon.
Oh, Lord. That's the biggest one right there. Well, that's one thing I don't stand for. I mean, I can't stand for if I support you and I follow you and I stand up for you, and then you go and you make a video and you fake it right out the gate, and I just lost all respect for you. Especially after,
Dustin got sidetracked.
especially
He got distracted.
Sorry.
especially when I daggone. Hell, I got fucking. I'm off track. Thanks, buddy.
I'm hearing cats meow. I'm sorry.
Do I even want to know?
Probably not.
There's a one.
There's a cat.
There's your kitty kitty.
There she is.
It's tail now. Okay.
What the hell is going on? I'm like taking my cats inside and like, nope. Yeah, exactly. I wish that fakers would actually get like freaking haunted. Like
Yes.
that shit would come to them in their dreams. Honestly, that would I would love for that. Any type of thing that they say, you know what? Come on, the good times.
They wouldn't know what to do if something really happened.
No,
I mean, I've been freaked out on investigations before. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. That one we had in Lexington Tunnel, dude, I was freaked up. I pulled over the car afterwards on the way back when we were reviewing the EVPs and stuff like that. I was like, oh, hell no.
gas station and reviewed that shit.
Yeah,
And we were like, what the hell did we just hear and see?
exactly. And you hear children singing in the background. And this is a abandoned place. There's nobody around. You're hearing, and this is, of course, this is also the middle of the night. You're hearing children just like calling out and singing and everything like that. And then you hear freaking some demonic type of thing when we went up to a Pentagon that was driven on the wall. So, I mean, good times.
Trust me, they know how to shit their pants.
We definitely are going back.
What is like, you guys are saying like, for investigations wise, what is one place that you guys want to go to when all this stuff is done?
I don't know. The place we went this weekend was pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty.
What's
I want to go
that?
back. I want to go back just where we were at this weekend.
Oh, all right, on.
Yeah. But
There's
I
so
don't know.
much there that we haven't even got to get into yet.
oh yeah,
Well, wait for me and Brandon to come up and play with you.
come on,
Well, yeah.
let's do it.
Well, I see him. There's a cemetery here. It's supposedly the most haunted cemetery in East Tennessee. But they got cameras hanging all around it. But then again, I was thinking it could be one of those dummy cameras.
I mean, there's a lot of places I want to go do when all this stuff lists out, like the restrictions and everything like that. I mean, there's like places in Ohio, West Virginia, freaking
Yeah,
North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, here in Virginia. You know, there's a lot of places out there to explore, man.
there is.
Well, to cover all of them, there's so many.
And
I said
Definitely.
before I want to do the more popular ones, but I recently decided I don't want to do that. There's better stuff in places that nobody even goes to.
oh, exactly. I think you get there is a thing of like over investigating a certain place or certain locations. You know, you look at a lot of these bigger places like St. Albans and like certain places like that where they're having a couple hundred people every freaking couple nights there. How much evidence do you really think they're going to? I mean, do you think the spirits are just going to get annoyed and be like, I ain't going to communicate with you? When you go to a place where it's hardly ever investigated, you're going to have spirits communicate with you all night because you're the only interaction they actually had. And if you can help them, awesome. If you can't, you can actually just communicate with them even better. You know what I'm saying? Rose, I've been to Waverly Hills, and literally that was probably the best investigation I ever had. Honest to God truth. Like, I had a nurse walk through me on the 4th floor. I got it all on tape. Pretty interesting stuff. Yes, Michael, we're definitely going to do the Stanley Hotel. Like, all of us, like a big ass group.
Waverly Hills. I do want to go to Waverly Hills. No shit.
Well, when you want to go, well, freaking I'll go. Like, honest to God truth. Because I had such a good time there, and I got so much good EVPs from that place. I would love to go back. Like,
what about the Amityville house? Would you like to do that one? Would you do that?
Yeah.
If we could. If it's not a resident still.
There ain't nobody living in it.
No, they're doing the Conjuring house is up for tours right now.
Really?
That'd be cool.
Where's that one?
Where's that at?
I think it's Massachusetts or Connecticut.
Was it Bob Mackey?
Bob Mackey's? But the thing with Bob Mackey's, you can only go during the weekday.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about that, because it's still an actual bar and stuff like that. I was supposed to go to Sweet Springs again right before the whole coronavirus started, and that got ixnayed. I was supposed to go do a really cool one for some important people that's been put on the back burner until this whole stuff clears up. And I don't want to do it. There's so many places I want to do. Like, right now, my main focus is I want to do Helltown. I really want to. In Ohio, Boston, Ohio. Oh, I so want to go there. After seeing, like, I watched a couple documentaries on the place, and it was, like, very highly intriguing towards me. And, like, I really want to go there. See some real demons, and the whole demonology type of thing is pretty cool, I think. Like, not as in cool, like, freaking, oh, I'm a satanic Satan worshiper or anything like that, but, like, cool as in you can actually maybe try to make a situation better, you know, by helping it, you know?
After this weekend, I really want to do more asylums. I want to do more older asylums.
Yeah.
Got one here in
Yeah,
Columbia.
definitely. I want to do some. I want to do that. I've done a couple of asylums. I've done Sweet Springs Sanitarium or Asylum. I've done St. Albans. I've done Waverly Hills. I've done Trans-Allegheny. Like a lot of the different those type of places. Most of them I didn't really get much at. I got some good activity at Waverly Hills, and I got some really good activity at Sweet Springs. St. Albans, I never got anything that could be confirmed because it was so many people. Like, I went on a public investigation for like, and it was like packed right to the brim, you know. It's like nothing I could have actually say that was actually a spirit, or was it noise collusion from somebody on a different floor or something like that. Sweet Springs, we were the only ones there. Waverly Hills, only ones there where we could actually get concrete evidence where it wasn't us, you know, type of thing.
That's the best kind right there.
And but I definitely, like, for around here, there's a couple other places I want to go check out. I want to do some more battlefields. Definitely. I've been talking about doing Appomattox Courthouse for the longest time. I want to see what's going on there. I'd love to do Gettysburg. I would love to do Bull Run and type of stuff like that. You know, I definitely want to go up to Mount Pleasant, West Virginia, and explore the Mothman, and I also want to investigate the Native American burial grounds in there, with the curses and stuff like that. You know.
Now that you mentioned that, Gettysburg is actually the one on the top of my list.
Right.
I want to go there so bad I can't stand it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Okay. And we all have our lists. Like for anybody that's an investigator, just so you have your list. You know, like I have Eastern State Penitentiary and freaking
What's the one?
Alcatraz,
Pinehurst.
Penhurst. I had a friend that went there, and they said they didn't get much. I never went there.
Edinburgh.
No, I haven't heard.
I'd like to go.
Have a good weekend, Nate.
Bye, Nate.
All right, now have to go.
There's like so many different places I do want to go to. I mean, honest to God, truth. There's so many good places to go out and investigate. You know, I want to go to the one place in California where they had the domes in the middle of the desert and stuff to investigate down there too. And I also want to do the Lexington Tunnel again, Poorhouse Tunnel again, when Brandon gets his ass down up here.
The tunnel.
Yeah.
The crap out of
So
them.
we got Sand Train Depot a couple times. We got some stuff there, not too much. But I definitely want to go to the Poorhouse Tunnels again to do something there. There's also an asylum in. I've been in an asylum in Stanton, Virginia. I want to go check out too. To see, like, you know, what's up. And there's I might be able to get into this armory in Troutville that's supposedly haunted. And where I work, that used to be a morgue, they said I can investigate there, but it'd have to be with myself.
I got to go out East Tennessee because all the crap here has been done too many dang old times, and it's just pathetic. It just gets old.
I will tell you where we were at this last Sunday was at one time was the largest asylum, lunatic hospital, mental hospital in the world at one time.
Right on.
Okay.
Now I don't mind giving it to you. It's the Central State in Milledgeville, Georgia. That's the Central State Hospital. So y'all
And
come
you
down.
you guys were the first ones to investigate there, weren't you? Or one of the first?
There's a lot of people that have done it. The GI team, Patty and them have done it. Omar's done it. A lot of people have done it.
All right.
Yeah.
Did you guys go by yourself, or were you guys in like a public?
We did go by ourselves, but we joined other investigators. Hello. AK Exploration.
Oh, they're cool people.
They invited us actually. AK actually invited us, and then there was other people like Jenny's Journeys and Mysteries, and then there was we had no clue they were going to be there. Let's just say that right now. We were told there'd be a guest coming with them. They didn't know we were going to be there either. It was James DeFam and Chelsea Luna were there.
Right on. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's a big enough place where you can actually have more than, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's the thing, like with Waverly Hills, it's like 5 floors. And, you know, you could have probably like 50, 60 people there. And you wouldn't know he's collude, you know?
Well, there's definitely stuff at the state hospital. It's like just the feelings and the vibes and stuff you get off that place was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, at one time, this was like its own little city, its own town. It had everything: penitentiaries, boarding houses, military school. You know, it was everything at one time. But yeah.
Right on. Like, what are you guys looking at doing? Do you guys do, now, have you guys gotten a lot of activity from, like, Hell's Gate?
Yeah. I was just thinking about going back. To be honest with you.
We need to.
We need to and do.
This is like one of the places I want to go.
Yeah, we have had. Well, we ain't had a lot.
We're never in there that long because Dustin gets scared that the cops are gonna come.
patrol at all times.
At least he should hold his hand.
I try, but jeez.
I don't want to be messing with daggone aggravating cops.
You know, when he gets worried that the cops are coming, and he's like, we gotta go, and then long legs just fucking take off, and my little short legs are trying to keep up, that's some funny shit.
Yeah.
Hey, but a question for you though, Lisa. Did he chirp you? Well, the laws after.
No, he better not.
But if I could actually just sit in there for a while and just really take it all in.
I'm telling you, if we get a camera that's like got the night vision on it and just go in there, no lights.
Oh, we can stay there all night.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to go up there and do that with you guys. This is one of the places I want to go down and investigate. Man,
Are they getting closer to letting y'all out? I mean,
yeah,
letting y'all out of your day.
Are they going to let you out of the cage soon?
I hope so.
I hope so, but not really. We had a foreman's meeting yesterday, and we're still not allowed to travel outside of 50 miles.
Did you hear what Chris said? Oh my. I've been there. I bought a Ouija board from there.
You keep your Ouija board.
No, the biggest reason I bought it was just to do an experiment with it, to actually see if a Ouija board actually works. We went to a murder, well, actually the one that you guys came up for, that site right there, we did a Ouija board experiment there to actually see if it works or not. So what me and Roger did was we blindfolded each other, freaking, so we couldn't see nothing. And we had somebody recording, and we asked the questions and everything like that to see what type of responses you would get and to see if it is there or whatnot. And you should see it. You should watch the video. It's pretty interesting.
Well, can you bring Sterilite up on the comment?
You're cutting it out.
Can you bring Sterilite up on the comment? Can you bring him up on the... Chris, can you bring him up on there?
Yeah, I'd love to. Chris, you want to come on?
His last comment, I'd love to go to... No, not that one. Ghosts get tired of being...
Bugged all the time.
Of asking for help and not getting any.
Yeah.
Right. See, I was just thinking about this. Just talked about this earlier or a couple of days ago. What most people are doing when they're out on an investigation, they're trying to get, well, not us, but they're trying to get, they're chasing ghosts. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to get information or, when something happens, they're ready to boogie. That's that whole boo factor. Oh, let's get the hell out of here. We got something moved. All right, now we can go. But what I want more people, what our main goal is, right, is to find out that there's life after death, right? So we want to get more information out of these spirits. So when we got them, let's help them. Let's get more, let's communicate. Let's sit down and, like we did one Sunday. And Lisa calls me to her. She says, come with me. And we go in one of the operating rooms. She says that she's got a feeling that there's a little boy hunkered down in the floor in the corner. Okay. So we go in there, grab the spirit, spirit box. She go back in there. And, we're going to communicate. We're trying to get answers. We're not going here to hurt you. We're here to just talk to us. Tell us your story. That's what we do. We sit down with us. Sometimes I'll fit right there at the stone and let, hey, tell me your story. Come to me. Talk to me. It's okay. And what I really wanted to start to do, I know it's probably stupid, but when we do these necrophonics, we get words here and there, little words, and a lot of times people can't put them together, can't make any sense of it all. When we get false, we don't know what's really going on. Now, I was thinking about maybe taking a pen and paper and just writing them down to see if we can actually get to do like he's saying, help them. You know what I'm saying? Their story and tell it like it is, because we'll get more out of that than just going, oh, they said leave, talk, help, stuff like that.
Right.
And I think that's what
we're the trap here. And they just want to be like, freaking, they need to be crossed over,
Well,
I think what more investigators need to do, that. We need to stop chasing ghosts, going for that, that fear, that boo factor, like some of our bigger channels, like our bigger YouTuber channels go for. To get the audience in.
They do it just for the views,
Exactly.
I had my channel and I went there, I didn't have a lot of subs. I had 300 and before I closed it, and freaking, I ain't going there. If I'm doing a private one, I'm going there to freaking debunk this shit. If I'm going to freaking somebody's house, I'm going there just for the sole purpose of debunking and putting the people at ease. Or if I get called up by a business, I'm going to go in there and try to debunk it and show them why certain things are happening that can be logically explained.
Right.
If we're going to a certain type of places, I will sage the place after I leave. I will have it blessed or anything like that. I mean, I'm not doing it for fame. It's God's truth. I'm not doing it for fame at all. Yeah. But
you work with us. We did an investigation together. Well, we running around there jumping. Oh, I'm scared. Were we doing that? Yeah. No, we were communicating.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, just like you were. You communicate, trying to get answers, trying to speak and communicate. That's what we were all doing.
Yeah.
You get some, they're like, oh Lord, this happened. All right, we got it. Let's go. That's what they're after. They get that, and it's like, all right, we got something. Let's go on. But you don't know what you got. Something could have fell in that room. Something, anything can happen. Like you're saying, debunking it. Anything can happen.
Yeah,
that doesn't mean there's a ghost in there. Come on.
Yeah, if you walk into a room and you get a heavy feeling or something like that, go see if there's an old knob and tube wiring in there. Go see if there's a power outlet that's radiating power. That's why you're feeling so uneasy and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Don't go in there and just with the whole idea it's automatically haunted or whatnot.
Yeah. That's what's wrong with the residents too. They have unsettling feelings and stuff. But how do we know that it's haunted or not if we don't go in there and play around in there?
Exactly. When we do our spirit sessions or our spirit boxes, or we ask questions, how do we know what they're really trying to say? Anything could be like they're saying leave. Well, heck, they could be talking to the other spirits. They could be,
right.
They're trying to tell you something. Yeah, they could be trying to tell you something that has to do with leave. They could be telling you a story and be like, well, we had to leave. I had to leave. You don't necessarily mean it means, all right, leave. They're trying to make you leave. It just could be what they're trying to say to you. It could be a story they're trying to tell you because you asked for it.
Right. I got some EVPs from my house, which I've been trying to figure out and decipher and stuff like that, trying to help them out. Because I got 7 spirits in my house right now.
Yeah, you're full of them.
Honestly, you ask Richie and Carla about my house.
Yeah.
I had one to say hi, Felicia.
The first night we were up there, we were all sitting around his kitchen table going over evidence and stuff that he showed us. And all of a sudden, the lights start to flicker on the chandelier and it starts to go this way. And I just look up and like, yep, you got something.
Which I don't mind. The spirits that are in my house are not they're not evil intentions or anything like that. They're just cool. And
yeah.
Although they do scare the shit out of me some nights. If I'm going outside, going out at 3 o'clock in the morning, wiping the lint out of my eye because I hear the TV turn on. And just like that, do you hear that door just shut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the night that you told me that you were sleeping on the couch and woke up about 3 a.m. heard that growl. I'm like, screw it, I'm going to bed.
I'm screwed.
Screw it, I'm going to bed.
I ain't gonna lie, dude. Like, if I go lay down on the couch or something like that, some nights I'll have an eerie feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Anxious sites said sometimes they say stay or go to. That is true, and a lot of times they don't want you to leave. They want you. They want you there. Like last weekend, they kept telling Lisa, "We don't want you to go. Stay, stay." And they were more comfortable with Lisa. There's a part that, once we do the videos, they will come out. But there's one part where they feel more comfortable with Lisa. So I say, okay, if Lisa comes closer to me, will you come to me?
Yeah.
And sure enough, as soon as she moved closer to me, because they were more, or they wanted me to move away from her because they were more comfortable with her. So as soon as I move, you'll see in the video, they actually start coming to her. And there's a way you'll tell just by the video. You'll see they actually come to her.
Right on.
Yeah, we get that sense all the time. I was like, just like the clenched tunnel, they kept saying leave, leave, leave. But when she would talk to them, it would be just like smooth sailing, peaceful. It's just, we get that sense all the time.
That's awesome, Rose. Honestly, that's like the type of stuff that we do, I ain't going in there. Like, I've gone to hotels that have called me up and wanted me to do an investigation there and stuff like that. And I told them, explain to them, after doing the EMF reading and showing them what's going on. Or, the investigators that go in there with the flashlights, doing the flashlight trick. Where it can be proven, There's a lot of YouTube videos on that type of
Yeah, there is.
Didn't the Tennessee grade teachers get caught with that one? Using a flashlight on the windowsill? One on the push button, you push the button back of it and they had set it on the windowsill and it kept lighting up every time they get close to it.
Yeah.
Asking it questions. I think the Tennessee grade teachers got caught on that.
Oh, I got one too, where I put my K2 meter down and a flashlight. And I asked it to jump between the two, and it did. I turned the flashlight on, then it turned the K2 on, then it'd go back and forth for freaking a solid minute. That's pretty neat. But
well, yeah, one of the harder flashlights to turn on, but those you can it'll get stuck. Those little tiny ones you're talking about, you push the back of it.
Yeah,
that button will get stuck, and all you have to do is just set it a certain way, and then it'll flicker back and forth. But
I do the ones with the screw top Magnolites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can't play with it. You can't play with that one. I mean, you can.
No.
If it goes off, okay, you got to believe that it's spirit activity. It's not. If you're not holding it and it goes off, you understand that's spirit activity. But the way they were doing it, they were sitting on it.
Yeah.
And then asking questions. Well, it wasn't really.
Well, it's all about how much contact it makes,
Yes, that's what it was. And that's how they got busted. Somebody watching the videos called them out on it. Well, you're faking it.
Yeah. I mean, people don't like being called out. Next thing you know, you get blocked.
Yeah.
Or the best one I've seen yet on the Twitter, the famous Twitter, was some dude using a projector and projecting a conspiracy against a wall, a person walking. I'm like, that's bullshit. It's a projector. Freaking. And next thing you know, boom, I'm blocked.
They make them though. They make the actual slides.
Oh, I'm being serious, man. It was one of those projector phones that he had. I can't remember what style. I think it was Android that came out with it a couple years back. But it literally had a projector. It was pretty. It was not very good quality. You could tell it was fake. Why is the whole room black and you're not using a full spectrum camera? And this thing right here is lit up like a Christmas tree. Walking,
Oops.
I was thinking about it. I think I had 1,000 views, and people were like, "Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Bitch, please." But, anyways, it's after midnight. I'm getting tired. I'm gonna probably go crash for the night. If that's okay with you guys.
No, it's all right.
End for the night.
All we need to do.
I'm ready to get off and
All right. Peace.